How's it going, everybody? Rob here, back with another video, and well, we got another review. This time focusing on another episode from or of The Boys from Amazon Prime. This episode is episode 2 of season 4, Life Among the SEPTICS. It's directed by Karen Goviola. Hopefully I said that correctly. Written by Jessica Cho, Eric Kripke, and Garth Ennis. So hopefully I said it all correctly. But oh my gosh. So first off, to kind of quote the I guess the episode bio. Did you know that globalists put chemicals in our food? That make us gay. Dakota Bob is a demon from hell. The moon isn't real. Find out what they want to keep from us. Hashtag TruthCon. So this was a kind of interesting episode. First off, starting us off with a I guess a movie shoot for A-Train with his backstory, kind of skewing what really happened with him becoming a superhero, with Will Ferrell being a coach for A-Train, whereas like in reality it was his was his brother, I believe. So that is right off the bat, like, you have a little bit of tension with A-Train not liking this whole scenario. We have Huey's mom show up. I mean, in terms of like the interactions with Huey and his family, we hadn't seen any sign of her for the last few seasons, and I guess there's a lot of tension. Like right off the bat, he's very kind of hostile. Even going further, like with his hostility, with her kind of peddling different like bot products, so to speak. So there's always that. There's a point where Butcher, and with his with what's going on with him, ends up firing Butcher. And he is Butcher's not particularly happy with that. We end up seeing a pitch for a super suit for Ryan, and while everybody is basically kind of promoting it, so to speak, Sage protests, kind of claiming that, since Ryan is technically one of the few like naturally born children of from a superhero, then his brand should basically resemble that. But a lot of people, including Homelander, are not happy with that. We do have and we have some tension between Ashley and Sage. Like, Ashley's not happy with Sage kind of talking down to her. So also, Sage is also like in this whole episode is like pitting, like kind of picking the brains of like Sage, or not Sage, but Sage that would have been hilarious, but Sage and Ashley, and as well as Sage picking the brains on the Deep, kind of pitting each of them against each other. So that is really funny. We also, I guess, for this episode, they also talk about setting up a save for Ryan. A save being, I guess, instead of, and it turns out that like for a lot of the saves, a lot of the heroics that these characters have been performing, they're not actual heroics. They're more of staged heroics, which, I'll be honest, makes me feel less and less that they're superheroes. But there's a point where Ryan is like practicing with the, I guess, the stunt double, or not stunt double, but one of the stunt artists. The Deep ends up threatening Ashley after she makes a kind of derogatory statement towards him, and he more and more shows how much of a creep he is. And actually, no, more of a piece of shit, I should say. So at some point, the at some point, the characters or the boys find out about this convention that Sage possibly was attending. So they go there. It's all a bunch of conspiracy theory people. So a lot of fun. We find out, or at least we find out through flashbacks, that Kimiko is kind of having a hard time with certain things. Probably with the group, or at least issues with the group that she had been kidnapped from. They introduce a character named Firecracker, who is a speaker for the conspiracy theory convention, and she is, let's just say she's 10 pounds of crazy in a 5-pound bag. That's probably like the best way to describe her. And during this whole thing, Kimiko is continuously like reminded of her trauma, and she ends up getting drunk on the job, or at least as they're there. At one point, they start trying to follow. I think after that, they end up following a. By the way, I want to point out that as I'm talking about this, like, I took notes of like little bits and pieces of the episode to kind of break it down. And one of the things I wrote was human centipede, and I'm gonna explain why I wrote that. But yeah, Kimiko gets drunk on the job. They end up following somebody who is a follower, a fan, a friend of Firecracker, only for this guy. Like, they go into a sauna room, and he has multiplied himself, and how do I describe this? I think I'm gonna go ahead and put the content. I'm gonna do the content warning here. He basically multiplies himself, makes a chain, and starts each iteration eats themselves out. I am not kidding. I wish there was a better way I could say that, but no, there isn't. Annie and Huey also are dealing with trauma as well. We do get a little bit of tension between A-Train and his brother. We do find out, first Annie and Huey are trying to talk to A-Train, and they come across him at a park, and there's a point where A-Train is talking to his nephews, and his brother calls him out for not actually saving people. There's still some animosity between him and his brother for what happened. We do get a moment where Sage, first kind of insulting Firecracker, proceeds to try to recruit her. Kimiko kind of has an outburst at the convention. And I wrote down too that she may have been human trafficking, been part of a human trafficking ring where she was a victim. That would explain a lot for a lot of the people that I think the organization that she was kidnapped from was the Rising Sun. So more likely she's still suffering trauma from that. We get eventually see the part where Ryan is doing the save, so to speak, and I don't want to completely say it's his fault, because Homelander shows up and kind of coaxes him like the Emperor to basically toss the actor, and which, by the way, The actor was the same, like, stunt coordinator or performer that was directing Ryan before. Um, Ryan throws him into a wall in the city, and it does not look good. It does not look good at all. During the convention, Kimiko, and Frenchie are looking around for Firecracker. They do end up going to this this huge room or conference room that Firecracker and Sage were supposed to meet, but it turns out to be Trap. And Sage tells Firecracker that she can join the Seven if they get killed. So she convinces her fanboy to multiply himself, and they start trying to kill them. We do have a battle in a bar mitzvah, so that was entertaining, so to speak. Butcher shows up and saves the day with his crowbar, so that was a lot of fun. And also, during the whole fight, or at least, yeah, during the fight, they do end up killing the prime, like, guy that multiplies himself, and after he dies, the rest of them do. So, fun. We do have a moment where Ryan is, honestly, in terms of his personality, he's upset about what happened to the stuntman. Homelander can't understand why he's upset, and just continuously throughout this episode, or at least throughout the series, Homelander, and especially like now with Ryan, he tries to convince Ryan that they're not people, they're toys, that you could do whatever you want with them. Even though there's clearly something wrong with that mentality. Frenchie is, we have moments with Frenchie where he's conflicted with Bob Collin, the character that he was interacting with in the early episode. And we find out that apparently Frenchie killed his family. And this was probably around the time that he was still working for the mob boss lady. So, fun. Not fun, but you get the point. Huey, actually, at some point later on in the hospital, Huey actually confronts his mom about, leaving. And, discussing, what's right for her, what's right for his dad. And, towards the end of this episode, we have a conversation with Butcher and and Butcher asks to save, or help him save Ryan. All in all, this was, I will say, it was an intriguing episode. A lot of emotional moments of it. Some over the top gross shit. But that's what I think overall we've seen a lot of that in The Boys. So I'm gonna say that it's nothing new from what we've kind of seen before. So anyway, all in all, this was it was interesting. I think that's the best way I'm gonna put it. It was interesting, to say the least. And if I were to give this a rating, I'm gonna give it a 7. Sometimes I feel like they go way over the top with the some of the more sexual stuff, but that's just me. It does have its emotional moments. It does have its, like, it shines on where it needs to, but there's certain things that, like, they could kind of downplay a little bit. Anyway, that was my review of episode 2 of The Boys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you guys can, please leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. If you guys want to follow us on social media, it's all in the description down below, as well as check out our daily content and the weekly podcast. With that being said, this is Novakast signing off. Have a good one, take care, and I'll see you guys next video.